Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 576 based on novel. So let's start. The caves inside the depths of the sea were broken into by the groups of cultivators in green, and they ruthlessly killed the people inside. Anyone who tried to escape would be chased by groups of green-robed cultivators. They wouldn't give up until their target was dead. Due to the fact that the entire Pill Sea was sealed and there were too many green-robed cultivators, it was difficult to escape. Slaughter loomed within the roar of the Pill Sea. The smell of blood slowly attracted the fierce beasts inside the Pill Sea. This was a massacre, this was a slaughter of unequal cultivation levels. The green-robed cultivators were high-level cultivators, and they strictly followed commands as they annihilated all the Heavenly Bull Continent cultivators in the Pill Sea. On the other side of the Pill Sea, near the Green Devil continent, there were 3 large flags inserted into the sea. There were thousands of cultivators below the flags, and they were all silently looking ahead with a cold gaze. At the center of the thousands of cultivators, there were 3 people not wearing green but white. It was 2 men and 1 woman. They looked fairly young, only about 30 years old. The woman was very beautiful, her head was lowered, and she was looking at a palm-sized compass in her hand. Among the 3, there was a young man whose face was like white jade. He pondered a bit and said, "Senior brother Chien, junior sister Zhao, the slaughter in the Pill Sea has already lasted 7 days. If we don't speed it up, I fear we can't complete the old ancestors' order." The other young man looked ordinary but would occasionally reveal a poisonous gaze. After hearing what the white jade-faced youth had said, he slowly answered, "At most for more days for this slaughter to end and kill all the Heavenly Bull cultivators in the Pill Sea. The Pill Sea is the gateway for my Green Devil continent to enter the Heavenly Bull continent. There are many powerful cultivators here, so it's difficult to deal with them all quickly. However, it is as Senior Brother Chien said, for more days should be enough." The woman smiled as she moved a strand of her hair behind her ear with her left hand. "Senior brothers, look at the compass of the Pill Sea." As the woman spoke, the compass in her right hand shined and the entire map of the Pill Sea appeared. There were thousands of green dots all over the map of the Pill Sea, and they seemed to be slowly moving. Aside from these green dots, there was also a large amount of white dots. The white dots were like candle fire that could extinguish at any moment. In just these few moments of talking, hundreds of white dots disappeared and were devoured by the green dots. The white lights had different sizes. There were 3 dots far brighter than the others. The 3 strongest cultivators in the Pill Sea are at the mid-stage of Void Turbulent. The ancestors have already sent out Green Devil messengers to deal with them, so we don't need to worry about them, the woman slowly said. Aside from those 3 brightest lights, there were less than 10 lights that were smaller but still far larger than others. They were surrounded by green dots and seemed to be engaged in a fierce battle. Aside from those 3 rogue cultivators, there are 9 more with slightly inferior cultivation levels, at around 7 or 8 arcane turbulence. They are the targets for the 3 of us. As long as we kill them, the rest of the cultivators in the sea will not be a problem. With this item, for days should be enough to kill them." The woman smiled and raised her left hand. She waved her jade-like hand and a drop of black liquid appeared in her palm. The black liquid was crystal clear and gave off a strange light. Rich water essence aura came from this drop of liquid. With the treasure from the Poison Devil sect, the 10,000 refined corruption liquid, do you think the cultivators in the Pill Sea stand a chance, senior brothers? The woman looked up at the 2 youths. The youth whose face was like white jade smiled and slowly said, "We can't be careless. Since our 3 sects have joined forces, no accidents can happen, and we can't let the Heavenly Bull continent notice anything. The 3 ancestors have already begun using spells to disrupt people from divinating what will happen. We must slaughter the Heavenly Bull cultivators in the Pill Sea and refine it back into half of a celestial pill. Then we will use the pill to break open the invisible barrier around the Heavenly Bull continent." None of the 3 saw that on compass map in the woman's hand, there was a very ordinary white dot near the Heavenly Bull continent. This very ordinary white dot was where Wang Lin was. Green dots would occasionally pass by, but they didn't notice him at all. Wang Lin was calmly sitting in the depths of the sea, and his body had fused with the sea. He slowly condensed the water that entered his body to form water essence to nourish his body. However, it was very difficult to condense water essence from the sea water. Perhaps if he condensed the whole sea into a drop, he could form water essence, but no matter what, Wang Lin had to try. His divine sense was fusing with the sea, so he noticed the slaughter happening in the Pill Sea. The entire Pill Sea was immersed in the slaughter. Time slowly passed. In a flash, 1 day went by. During this day, more than a dozen groups of green-robed cultivators flew above Wang Lin, but none of them noticed Wang Lin in the seaweed below them. After this day of time, the giant Pill Sea had sunk 100 feet, as if the water had disappeared into thin air. This slowly attracted the attention of the cultivators, but with all the slaughter, no one paid too much attention. The three people under the three flags that pierced the heavens on the Green Devil continent side were like this. The beautiful woman looked at the compass in her hand and spoke, northeast, 390,000 kilometers away. One set of Green Devil soldiers, go! Dozens of cultivators suddenly moved forward. They entered the water and disappeared without a trace. They couldn't use spatial bending, but the Green Devil continent was well prepared. Not only did the restriction seal the Pill Sea, it could also allow Green Devil continent cultivators to merge into it to move. Southeast, 1.98 million kilometers away. 5 sets of Green Devil soldiers, go! After she spoke, over 100 cultivators stepped out and disappeared. Orders came from the woman and she continued to deploy troops based on the compass map in her hand. With the help of the large amount of Green Devil continent cultivators, they wiped out the resisting white dots. Senior Brother Chien, Senior Brother Zhao, it's up to you guys. Out of the 9, 4 have died and 5 remain. 2 of them have scattered, so there is nothing to worry about, but 3 of them have gathered together. These 3 people are probably good friends and are good at joint attacks. I ask you 2 senior brothers to kill these 3. On the compass in the woman's hand, there were 3 slightly larger points of light that were moving toward the Heavenly Bull continent. The green dots that got close to them extinguished one after another, representing death. The young man whose face was like white jade smiled and raised his right hand. A fan appeared in his grasp and he knocked the center of his left palm with it as he looked at the young man named Chien before him. Senior Brother Chien, little brother will follow and see the Grand Devil Dao spell of the Devil Dao sect. The cultivator named Chien revealed a poisonous expression, and without a word, he stepped forward into the formation. He disappeared without a trace. The young man whose face was like white jade shook his head with a smile and followed. After the 2 of them left, the woman surrounded by thousands of cultivators frowned and looked at the compass in her hand. She was confused about something. Strange, why did the water in the Pill Sea decrease so much in a day? Her gaze swept by all the white dots, including the one that represented Wang Lin. However, the white dot that represented Wang Lin was simply too common and didn't attract her attention. She pondered for a bit before burying this matter in her heart. She continued to deploy troops to work with the cultivators of the Green Devil sect to wipe out the few remaining rogue cultivators of the Heavenly Bull continent in the Pill Sea. The slaughter was endless, and Wang Lin ignored all of this as he spent all his effort absorbing the sea water. He was like an endless hole that continued to condense the sea water in an attempt to gather water essence. However, it was simply too difficult to condense this water essence. Even 100 feet of sea water was still not enough. Then let's absorb more. Wang Lin opened his dried-up eye and watched a group of green-robed cultivators fly above him. He frowned. A moment later, Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and closed his eyes to continue absorbing more water. After a day, the water line continued to lower until it had lowered more than 800 feet. Even some of the reefs were now exposed to the surface. Even the many cultivators who were part of the slaughter could no longer ignore this change, but they had no idea what was happening. Where did all the sea water go? Could it be that someone is using a powerful spell? The green-robed cultivators in the Pill Sea couldn't remain calm anymore. At this moment, at the bottom of the sea, far away from Wang Lin, there were 3 people running away. 2 of them were obviously seriously injured, but the last person didn't abandon them to escape on their own. White Tiger, leave by yourself. Vermilion Bird and I are seriously injured. Taking us along would just drag you down. I didn't expect to encounter this death calamity after we left the Seven Tao sect and came here to cultivate in peace. Alas, White Tiger, leave by yourself. The three of them were the Vermilion Bird, the White Tiger, and the Black Tortoise who had come out of the cave world. They had returned many years ago and saw that the Seven Tao sect no longer existed. They chose to leave and then came here to become rogue cultivators. They had already been famous and had their time in the spotlight. However, they were near the end of their lifetimes, they were just tried and wanted to rest. With their cultivation levels, they could have done great things in the Pill Sea, but the three of them chose to live a calm life. However, although the trio wanted to be quiet, the wind wouldn't allow them. Although they wanted to live in peace, now they were running for their lives. The Vermilion Bird and the Black Tortoise had been seriously injured. The White Tiger was the least injured and was carrying his two lifelong friends as they did their best to escape the Pill Sea. When the words from those two entered his ears, White Tiger's pale face revealed a miserable smile. There is no need for you two to speak. How can I escape alone? We entered the cave world together and now Azure Dragon is dead, but it was understandable. However, didn't we agree to stay here until we die of old age? Didn't we agree to find 3 talented juniors to pass down our Tao? We haven't done these things yet, so how can I live by escaping alone? The White Tiger let out a roar as he carried the Black Tortoise and the Vermilion Bird while escaping. Behind the three of them, the youth with the white jade-like face slowly chased with a fan in his hand. The youth named Chien revealed a vicious gaze as he let out a cold laugh and chased. The two of them were in no rush. The Pill Sea was sealed, so there was no way for the three of them to escape. Toying with them like this was much more fun for the cultivator named Chien. These 5 people continued their escape and pursuit. However, under the 3 flags, the woman's eyes revealed a strange light as she stared at the compass in her hand. She had a bad feeling. In one day, the sea level has dropped hundreds of feet, several times more than yesterday. There is a problem. She stared at the compass that was covered in green dots. There weren't many white dots left, less than 1,000. The 3 largest lights had disappeared. As for the 9 weaker dots, after the first 4 disappeared, 2 more had disappeared. Only the 3 dots that were together were slowly moving, with 2 eye-catching green dots chasing them. The woman carefully scanned the compass and frowned even harder. There is nothing wrong. How did the water level drop so much in 2 days? There are still 2 days left. Forget it, I'm not waiting until the end. The sudden reduction in the sea water is too strange. I'm going to use the 10,000 refined corruption liquid to sweep the remaining cultivators. The woman felt a sense of unease. After hesitating for a bit, she clenched her teeth and took out the black liquid. She then flicked it toward the sea. The drop of black water immediately flew down and disappeared into the sea. After it disappeared, the sea water before the woman turned black. The ink-like black water rapidly spread at an unimaginable speed. No matter what kind of secret remains inside the Pill Sea, it will die to the 10,000 refined corruption liquid. As for Wang Lin, after 2 days, he had absorbed a large amount of sea water. He condensed it inside his body in an attempt to form a water essence, but none had formed yet. After pondering, he absorbed even faster. Several hours later, more than half of the Pill Sea had turned black. All Heavenly Bull continent cultivators that were touched by it screamed one by one. Their bodies were corroded by the water, and not even their origin souls could escape. Even the group of green-robed cultivators slowed down in the Black Sea, but they weren't injured. The woman under the flags couldn't see it, but the compass in her hand clearly revealed the changes that were happening. Half of the pill map on her compass had turned black. All the white dots touched by the Black Sea had disappeared as if they were erased. Whoever is causing the problem, I want to see how you will absorb the Pill Sea once it has been defiled, the woman murmured, and there was a cold flash in her eyes as she searched the hundreds of white dots on her compass. She was very concerned about the fact that the sea level was decreasing rapidly. She had to find the reason. The white dot representing Wang Lin was overlooked by the woman once more. However, as her gaze swept past, Her eyes locked onto the white dot representing Wang Lin and revealed monstrous killing intent. Every white dot represents a non-green devil continent cultivator. All the white dots are slowly moving toward the heavenly bull continent to escape, but this white dot has remained motionless. I should have noticed it a long time ago. There was a flash of killing intent in her eyes. Directly north, 97 million kilometers away, send 30 sets of green devil soldiers to kill. Before she finished speaking, the white dot that represented Wang Lin suddenly disappeared. This happened so suddenly that she stopped talking and was startled. As for Wang Lin, he had continued to absorb sea water during these days, but he was still not able to condense any water essence. Shortly after, he began absorbing even faster, making his body tremble. He opened his eyes and they shined brightly. Water essence. I feel the aura of a water essence. Wang Lin's eyes lit up, and after hesitating a bit, he revealed a decisive gaze. He stood up and stepped forward. Ripples appeared under his feet as he merged with the world and disappeared. When Wang Lin reappeared, he was above the other half of the Pill Sea, where the black liquid was. When he appeared, he felt a terrifying force from the black sea water that could corrode all flesh and even origin souls. This is another power of the water essence. Wang Lin's body was currently in the 9th cycle of completing his water essence. He had more resistance to the black sea water than ordinary cultivators. Although this sea water was terrifying, it could not corrode his body right away. More importantly, it contained the water essence Wang Lin needed right now. After he appeared, Wang Lin sat down without hesitation. His hands formed a seal and the 36,000 pores in his body opened to absorb the black sea water into his body. As he rapidly absorbed it, he felt a stinging ping in his body, but at the same time, an extremely comfortable feeling came from his heart. His body was being nourished and the 9th cycle was slowly being completed. Far away from Wang Lin, on the other side of the Pill Sea, near the Green Devil continent, under the 3 flags, the woman's pupils shrank. She stared at the compass in her grasp and her right hand trembled. The black ink that covered half the Pill Sea was rapidly dissipating on the map. When she saw this, her expression changed and she gasped. Disbelief appeared in her eyes as she looked at the compass in a daze. Soon, she noticed that there was a white dot within the black part of the Pill Sea. This dot wasn't bright, but it was the only white dot in this half of the Pill Sea. It's that person. The woman's eyes filled with killing intent as she pointed forward with her left hand. 50 set of green devil soldiers, kill that person. With that, more than half of the 1,000 cultivators beside the woman stepped forward and disappeared. In the woman's compass, large amounts of green dots appeared around Wang Lin, surrounding him. As for Wang Lin, he was rapidly absorbing the water essence and his body was rapidly recovering. His dried-up hands quickly recovered and his blood began to move as if he had regained his vitality. His body, head, and hair were no longer dry as he continued to absorb the black sea water. The 9th cycle of the water essence began to move once more after Wang Lin injected new power into it by absorbing the black sea water. This speed was very fast and the sea level in this area was rapidly dropping. Wang Lin's water essence's 9th cycle quickly completed. The moment the 9th cycle completed, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His body was no longer withered, it had completely recovered. The moment he recovered, the 8th essence appeared in his body. It was the water essence. The appearance of this water essence caused Wang Lin's cultivation level to suddenly increase. A powerful aura spread out around him. This was the aura of his true cultivation level, late-stage spirit void. At this moment, his aura increased like crazy and broke through. At the moment of breakthrough, his aura continued to increase until it reached the peak of spirit void and was only one step away from arcane void. At the same time, the inside of Wang Lin's body raged and popping sounds echoed. His eyes revealed a light like that of a water crystal. Water essence, condense in the blood of my body. From now on, my blood will be the water essence. When Wang Lin's water essence was completed, many shadows appeared near him. The moment those shadows appeared, a green light spread out. Wang Lin had long sensed the shadows that had suddenly appeared. He remained calm and his right hand grasped at the sea above. All the black liquid in the sea gathered in a flash and formed a drop of black liquid. This liquid was the 10,000 refined corruption liquid. The shadows appeared one by one, followed by the auras of their powerful cultivation. As they all charged toward Wang Lin, he mercilessly squeezed the drop of black liquid. Water can isolate all auras. It can stop fire from burning, can suffocate life, can turn the world colorless, Wang Lin murmured as he squeezed the drop of black liquid in his hand until it collapsed. Large amounts of ink-like water spread out with Wang Lin as the center. The 1,000 figures that had closed in on Wang Lin were trapped by the black liquid before they could even get close. Miserable cries echoed inside the pill sea. All the green-robed cultivators touched by the black water trembled as their bodies rapidly corroded and their origin souls dissipated. Some seemed to suffocate. Their eyes widened and they died. The water not only cut off air, but also celestial energy and the burning flames of their lives. Some collapsed directly and the blood in their bodies came out of their pores. It crushed their bodies and shattered their origin souls. There were also many that trembled violently as their bodies rapidly withered until they became bone-like corpses. Their origin souls weakened to the point of collapse. Everything happened the moment Wang Lin's right hand formed a seal. He was calm as he slowly walked forward through the corpses. Black liquid came from the corpses and entered Wang Lin's body to fuse with his blood. After walking forward 7 steps, Wang Lin suddenly turned around and looked into the distance. Far away in that direction was the location of the 3 flags where the woman was. The woman's body was trembling and her eyes were filled with fear. All the green dots around Wang Lin had been extinguished. The black that covered half the pill sea had also disappeared, leaving only a white dot that moved slowly before disappearing. Who is this person? Why did he not show up when we investigated the powerful cultivators here? The woman silently pondered and clenched her teeth. All green devil soldiers in the pill sea, listen to my order. Chase after this person and don't let him leave. He took the 10,000's refined corruption liquid. You must kill him to get it back, the woman said before coughing out a mouthful of blood. The blood merged with her words and turned into gas that drilled into the compass. When the blood dissipated, all the green-robed cultivators beside the woman quickly marched forward. At the same time, all of the Green Devil Continent cultivators trembled as the woman's voice echoed in their minds. The reason her voice was able to spread so far was not because her cultivation level high, but through the compass in her hand. The compass was no ordinary object, it was the center of the restriction that surrounded the pill sea. Wang Lin remained calm and moved through the pill sea. His pace was not fast, but with every step, he moved very far away, he was gaining speed. These people have sealed the pill sea. Although I don't know why, since they only allow others to enter and not leave, it is obvious they don't want the news to leak out. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he raised his right hand. A small person came out of his palm. This little person was a soul Wang Lin had formed through the soul eye Dao. As Wang Lin walked forward, his gaze met the little person's eyes. The little person trembled and kowtowed toward Wang Lin. The moment the head of the little person touched Wang Lin's palm, a rumble echoed in his mind. Just as he was about to divinate the future, a powerful force interrupted it by force. His eyes narrowed and his expression became even more serious. There is someone interfering. Not against me, but all divination spells in this place. Wang Lin closed his palm and the small person inside disappeared. I fear there will be a big mess here, Wang Lin pondered as he stepped forward and ripples echoed under his feet. He disappeared without a trace as he used spatial bending. Less than 10 breaths after he left, almost 1,000 figures appeared here. These figures were all wearing green robes, and after looking around a bit, they disappeared once more. As for Wang Lin, when he got near the Heavenly Bull continent, he walked out of the ripples and frowned. He didn't leave the sea but looked up. His gaze seemed to penetrate the sea. He saw the dark sky above. The restriction here made it so spatial bending can only move within the pill sea and not leave. This restriction is a bit mysterious. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was not afraid of restrictions. It was difficult for a restriction escape his restriction essence. The more restrictions he encountered, the more beneficial it would be to his restriction essence. If he could absorb and refine a powerful and ancient restriction, his restriction essence would increase greatly. The restriction here can be refined and absorbed into my restriction essence, Wang Lin murmured to himself. When he was at the Soul Scripture Pavilion, he felt like it would not be good to refine the restriction there as an elder of the set. Also, those restrictions weren't that mysterious, they merely contained the will of powerful cultivators. While pondering, Wang Lin was very calm and waved his right hand. Dozens of flames began to burn in the sea to Wang Lin's right. The moment the fire appeared, miserable screams echoed and more than a dozen cultivators in green appeared. Their bodies were burning from a black fire that not even the sea water could put out. This fire was ethereal fire ignited by their killing intent. Wang Lin rarely used ethereal fire, and this was his first time using it on the immortal astral continent. But it was still extremely powerful when used unexpectedly. Those more than a dozen cultivators weren't even at the third step. They were merely scouts sent to find Wang Lin, and they had no chance of resisting. Wang Lin was about to rush out from the water to observe the restriction covering the Pill Sea. However, his expression changed and turned around and looked into the distance. The three of them, actually here. Wang Lin revealed a smile as he changed directions and stepped forward. Thunderous rumbles rang out deep inside the sea. The white tiger coughed out blood as he carried the black tortoise and the vermilion bird to rapidly escape. The cultivator named Qian licked his lips and revealed a ferocious expression. Your body is pretty strong, it might be a good choice to refine you into a puppet. The three of you have pretty good cultivation. According to my sect's investigation, you three moved here only a few decades ago and belong to no sect. How about joining my Wu Ji sect to avoid death? The youth with the white jade-like face smiled. The white tiger's face was deathly pale. He didn't speak as he escaped like crazy with the black tortoise and the vermilion bird, who were on their last breath. However, no matter how fast he moved, he was unable to create any distance from the two cultivators chasing him. White tiger, the three of you should not be nameless. Why is our investigation of the three of you three blank for the countless years before you three came to the Pill Sea? The youth with the white jade-like face slowly said as he pointed forward with the fan in his hand. A strand of green gas appeared from the fan and turned into a golden celestial holding a gold sword. It stepped forward and sliced down on the white tiger. The moment the golden sword descended, White Tiger turned around. With a roar, a white tiger shadow appeared and separated from his body to pounce at the golden-armored celestial. A thunderous rumble echoed and the celestial collapsed, but the white tiger also let out a miserable scream before collapsing. White Tiger trembled as he coughed out blood once more and retreated 1,000 feet. This old man is the White Tiger General, one of the 4 great generals of the 7 Dao sect. I won't change my name or my sect. Little child, remember this well. White Tiger didn't look good, and he stopped fleeing. He understood that it was unlikely he would escape death in this situation. Since he was going to die, then he was going to go out with a bang. Vermilion Bird General, one of the 4 great generals of the 7 Dao sect. Behind the white tiger, the vermilion bird had blood flowing out of the corner of his mouth as he stared at the youth. Black Tortoise General. The black tortoise also understood that the 3 of them would likely die. He let out a sigh and no longer hid his identity. 7 Dao sect? The Heavenly Bull continent has such a sect. The youth with the white jade-like face pondered for a moment but couldn't think of such a sect in their investigation. 7 Dao sect. The cultivator named Qian carefully looked at the 3 of them after hearing this name. I once saw this name in the sect's investigation of the Heavenly Bull continent. It was a sect from a long time ago, and their sect leader was called the 7-colored Celestial Sovereign or something. His cultivation was extraordinary, but that was a long time ago. He is likely dead. Hearing the name, 7-colored Celestial Sovereign, White Tiger and company became silent. They had complicated expressions on their faces. Although the sect master is dead, there is still one more person. If he comes out, he will immediately become famous across the immortal astral continent, the White Tiger suddenly said. The vermilion bird and the black tortoise looked at each other and nodded. Famous across immortal astral continent? This matter is interesting. Could the person you're talking about be Yunifeng from the Guiyi sect, or the four geniuses of the Eastern continent? Funny. The youth with the white jade-like face laughed as he charged forward filled with killing intent along with the cultivator named Qian. But as they closed in and White Tiger and company were going to fight to the death, a voice appeared like the chilly wind. It is funny. This video will end here.